Hey, what's up? Good morning. I am Sienna and oh my god, I am getting married in 2 weeks. Wow. Yeah, I cannot believe how fast that this happened. I'm kind of in panic mode now because I feel like there's still so much to figure out and so much to do, but like we're 2 weeks out, baby. Like what else, what am I gonna do, you know? And so today, since I'm like just full of all of this nervous energy about the wedding and like trying to make sure I haven't forgotten anything and like getting into the just getting ready for it mode, I thought it would be fun to take a look at some of the Gen Z wedding trends that have been going around online lately. And I'm just not like a super organized person when it comes to planning my life, to be totally honest. I've been wanting to share like my wedding planning process and what I have in store for my wedding, but it's been kind of difficult for me because like there are so many elements that aren't present. There are so many that are like boxed up that I can't really pull out and show you. Like I'd love to show you my wedding dress, but pulling it out and like holding it up for a camera would be really difficult by myself because it's so freaking heavy and I just don't have a lot of space in my room where like a cat wouldn't step all over it. So not sure if I want to do that. I can give you like a glimpse, but you know what I mean. There's just so much stuff to show, but like not a lot of good ways to show it at the moment until like the time of. So I thought we could go through some of the 2026 Gen Z wedding trends and just talk about some of the things that I'm incorporating into my wedding and some of the things that I am not incorporating into my wedding. And that way I can share my journey and what I've been putting together and my own thoughts on trends, but we can also kind of learn about what other brides are doing and like whether we find them appealing. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And I guess to start off, I am like, I wouldn't say I'm like a hipster, you know, in the way where I'm like, oh, ew, trends, you know, but I'm definitely not the type of person that like goes out onto Pinterest to see like, ooh, what's currently trending and how can I incorporate that into my wedding? I'm definitely more of a like, you know what, here's what I want. So we're gonna do that however we can. We're gonna get as close as we can to that. And yeah, if it's trendy, great. If it's not, cool. But yeah, I'm definitely not the type of person who's like, ooh, I have to have like the most trendy, like forward thinking wedding of all time. Like I need to make sure that everyone has just the best time and thinks it's so aesthetic and so cool. I don't really care what everyone else thinks. I just want to think it's cool and have a fun time with my friends and family, you know? And I just want to like, I want to get dressed up. I want all my people to get dressed up. I want us all to look gorgeous and I want us all to like feel fancy and have a great time. So that's the plan so far. I wish my dog would stop barking. Oh my God. So let's just get into talking about some of the wedding trends for 2026. And we're going to start off with my favorite section, which is, of course, food. That's honestly one of the things I was most excited for when planning my wedding is I wanted to get food figured out right away. I love food. I love being bougie with food and going out to eat at fancy places and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I was really intent on having like a big fancy plated dinner. And so that's what we're doing. At first I wasn't sure it was going to go so well because when I was looking at the options that we had at our venue, it kind of looked like having like a buffet would be cheaper, but when we talked to the wedding planners, they were like, no, actually it's going to be cheaper if you do a plated dinner. So we were like, okay, cool, perfect. That's what we wanted anyway. We also just don't have a lot of guests, so I think a plated dinner is going to be no problem, but I've just really always wanted like the fancy, like we all sit down together, we have this fancy course meal, you know, that sort of thing. So that's what we're doing, but let's talk about what everyone else is doing. So apparently one of the big trends of 2026 is food as decor. So having a lot of like plated arrangements set out that look really fancy. Like a really great example of that is the grazing table. So that's become really popular, is having like a charcuterie board laid out for all of your guests. So like breads, cheeses, fruit, maybe some wine, jams, butters, all that sort of thing, just kind of laid out, spread out, and so people can just kind of pick and choose at what they want. Which, like, don't get me wrong, I love a charcuterie board. Like, I will pick a restaurant half the time because they have a charcuterie board. I'm like, can we please? But I'm not doing one of these. I thought about having a charcuterie board as an appetizer type thing because that was an option our venue gave us, but it was just going to be so expensive and you just can't guarantee that everyone's going to eat on it. Like, we already have so much food planned, you know, we have some hors d'oeuvres, we have 3 choices of hors d'oeuvres. We're doing like caprese skewer where it's like the little mozzarella, tomato, and basil on like a little stick. I love those, so we're having those. Vincent picked out a stuffed Italian meatball, which I was like, that's the one thing I would prefer not to have, but you do you, boy. It's your wedding too, all right? Like, okay, like that's gonna be the most difficult thing for people in fancy clothes to eat, but fine, that's what you want. And then we're doing like a teriyaki chicken skewer because we both like the sound of that, and that sounds like a crowd pleaser, you know? So yeah, we're doing past or orders. We're having like what they call a butler service, which I know is super bougie. But yeah, I'm bougie, he's bougie, we're bougie. So we're having like a butler service where they're going to pass around trays of our little hors d'oeuvres. So I'm super excited for that. So yeah, we said no to a grazing table charcuterie board. Actually, I think at our venue it was advertised as a charcuterie tower, like a seafood tower was another option. So charcuterie, like cheese tower, was another option, which sounds so cool, but so expensive, and like I only have to feed 30 people. Like I don't think we need a whole cheese tower. Another thing that has like been popular for, I feel like forever, like I think millennials started this and it's just still a trend, is the late night snack thing. So like a lot of people do food trucks at the end of the night. They like have something like ice cream, tacos, burgers, something like that to come in at the end of the night, like towards the end. So say you have dinner at like 6 o'clock, then you have like a food truck come in at, 10 o'clock, 11, midnight, whatever, just as like a little extra thing, which, I mean, that sounds fun and all, but also, I don't know, we're eating a lot of food already, right? Like I already mentioned the hors d'oeuvres. I'm sure we'll eat before the wedding, and our plated dinner is like you have the option of steak or salmon, and it's like a pretty sizable portion of steak or salmon, plus we have cupcakes and cake. So like I think people are gonna be good on food, and like if we're really like raging all night and we really need to go get a snack, like we'll go to Taco Bell or something. I don't care. Like we can go all dressed up and go out to eat. Like who cares, like things are gonna be open late. I think that's so much better than planning for a food truck that a lot of people won't necessarily eat. And even if it's not a food truck, even if it's just like ordering pizza or bringing snacks or something, it's just kind of like, well, is everyone really gonna do that? I don't know. So yeah, not doing that, but I kind of get why it's popular, I guess. Next big trend in food is quirky cakes. So I guess a lot of people are saying goodbye to the whole, gigantic tiered cake thing, which I totally agree with. Tiered cakes are fucking expensive. Like that is ridiculous. Like $500+ for a tiered cake. And like the small wedding like mine, you do not need that much cake. I can't even guarantee that everyone's going to eat cake, nowadays. So no, we're not doing a big tiered cake. We are doing kind of a quirky cake. We're doing one of those cute little like heart-shaped cakes that are like super like frilly, over decorated. I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember right now, but it's just like super coquette, baroque, cutesy. So we're doing that, and that's going to be our cake. It's also black, which is going to be kind of cool instead of a white cake. We wanted to do a red cake, but they weren't going to be able to do that. So we're doing a black cake, which kind of just goes with our whole aesthetic of, we're doing like a burgundy dusty rose theme, so like a dark red and a light-ish pink, and then like little hints of black and gold everywhere, because he's like very grunge edgy vibes, and I'm very like, I'd like to say that I'm grunge edgy on the inside, but like fairy princess cute kawaii on the outside. So I think that matches us perfectly. So having like the black cake, but it's all frilly and cutesy and a heart shape, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. And then we also just ordered a bunch of cupcakes for everyone. So we got some little chocolate raspberry cupcakes, some lemon raspberry cupcakes, and strawberry champagne cupcakes, because those are all of our favorites and they're gonna be so good. I'm so excited. So I think we'll just have the cake to ourselves, and then everyone else can have cupcakes. So it'll be great. And then we don't have to worry about cake cutting and stuff like that, which apparently a lot of people have started doing like private cake cutting things, like instead of doing it in front of the crowd, which I don't really understand why that needs to be private. I don't really understand why cake cutting is a thing in the first place. Like that's not something that I'm looking forward to. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just like an extra thing that I haven't really thought about. So this is interesting. I feel like 2026 Gen Z weddings have been going one way or the other, where they're either doing something really fancy and crazy with drinking and cocktails, or they're not having any at all. So a really big trend is having a dry wedding or only having mocktails, which like, go for it. Good for you. I totally understand the premise. Like, I don't think that you should need alcohol to have fun. Like, I totally agree with that. I don't drink much at all. I was thinking the other day, like, when's the last time I had a drink? I think like maybe a month ago I had a cocktail with dinner. I really just don't drink much. I'll drink at my wedding though, because why not? We'll have like a champagne toast. I mean, a couple days before we'll have the bachelorette party, and I'm sure there will be plenty of drinking at that. That's perfectly fine. But anyway, yeah, I totally understand the dry wedding thing, but also it's a party and most people in the world right now are kind of alcoholics. Like, I mean, a lot of people need to get turned to have fun. Like, at my wedding, they're traveling all this way. Like, I've got to be as good of a host as possible. So I think providing alcohol is totally fair. Like, yeah, it's expensive. I get it. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But also, if you're already committing to throwing a huge ass expensive party, like, I think you can bring some alcohol. Like, you don't have to go too crazy. But yeah, so we're not doing the whole mocktail dry wedding thing. We're having some wine, we're having champagne, we're having custom cocktails. I don't really remember exactly how it happened, but we decided to have our drinks they're based on Roger personas from American Dad, because we both love American Dad so much. It's one of our favorite shows, and we love all of Roger's like little personas, characters. And so I always used to make the joke whenever I would have a rum and root beer, because that's one of my go-to alcoholic drinks. I don't like rum and coke, so I do rum and root beer, and sometimes I'll put like a splash of Chambord in there, because that's my favorite alcohol is Chambord, which is like a raspberry liqueur. And so I would always call it a Roy Rogers McFreely, because that's an episode of American Dad where Roger just really wants a Shirley Temple, I think. And then he makes the character Roy Rogers McFreely, so I was like, oh, this is my Roy Rogers McFreely. And so you're saying, oh, that could be my cocktail at our wedding, and then we need to come up with another one for Vincent's drink, but it could also be, a Roger name. I think we're still calling mine the Roy Rogers McFreely, but it's a different drink entirely. I forgot exactly what's in it, but it's like vodka, Chambord, Sprite, and lime or something like that. We had it at a concert we went to together. They had specialty cocktails at the concert, and I really liked that one, so they're gonna recreate that for me at the wedding venue, and that's going to be my Roy Rogers McFreely. Vincent has it's an espresso martini, but instead of being made with vodka, it's made with tequila, because he loves tequila, which I hate tequila, but whatever, it's his wedding. And so I think we're going to call that one the Ricky Spanish, another Roger character. So that's our little alcoholic plan, which brings me to another trend, which it's apparently incredibly popular right now to have a champagne tower or some sort of drink tower. A lot of people are doing tiramisu towers, apparently. Like, tiramisu is really popular this season. Don't know why, but whatever. You guys do what you want. We're not doing anything like a champagne tower. We have the butler service, like I said, so there's just going to be a couple of waiters going around topping off various wines, and we have a bartender and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we went with. Man, I managed to talk about food and drink for a good while. So let's talk about decor. One of the main things that I found about decor for 2026 weddings is the vibe of vintage or quiet luxury. I definitely get the whole vintage vibe. I'm definitely going for like a Regency Baroque, coquette kind of vibe with my own wedding. Like, we have this big, beautiful ballroom that's got a portrait of Marie Antoinette in it, and so we're going for very, Baroque French aristocracy vibes. Don't know if I said that right, but you get the vibe, like Marie Antoinette vibes. Yeah, we've just got a gorgeous ballroom. All of our aesthetic kind of just matches that ballroom. I think the shades of red and pink that we chose go with that. And so yeah, I get the vintage thing, but I guess a lot of people are like thrifting their wedding dresses or finding older things or going for like an older aesthetic of bridal gowns and bridesmaid gowns and veils and that sort of thing. I am not. Like, I'd say a lot of our details are kind of vintage inspired, but it's definitely more like glamour than it is vintage. And as for the quiet luxury, no, I'm going full on glamour, like sparkle flowers, lace, pearls, everything. Like, we're going all out with it, because this is only going to happen once. So yeah, I went all out with it. I'm not doing any of the quiet, subtle, like, I know very sculpted, like draped, clean line wedding dresses are really popular right now with like a basque waist. No, I'm doing an A-line, like glittery fairy tale princess vibe dress. We're going all out. And I mean, our venue is too. So something else I saw about the decor is like picking meaningful venues is the way they put it. Like Vogue said it that way. A couple of other articles that I read about 2026 trends said picking meaningful venues, which I was kind of like, why aren't you picking a meaningful venue in the first place? Like, we picked our hotel because we got engaged there. We got engaged there because I wanted to take Vincent there for one of our little monthly anniversaries, and I was like, I grew up going to this hotel. My parents always took me here. Like, I basically grew up here in a lot of ways, like I associate it with my childhood, so now I want you to go here and we'll have a good time. And then we got engaged, and so now it's like, yeah, it's a special fancy spot. So I find it weird that like that insinuates people were just picking random places in the first place, so that's weird. So like, yeah, pick a meaningful place, my guy. I don't know. I guess draping is big, along with that coquette vintage vibe, right? A lot of people are like draping big pieces of fabric over stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I don't need to spend money on a shit ton of fabric for decor. I think our ballroom is going to be plenty. Another big thing is backyard weddings. I made it perfectly clear I am not a fan of like outdoor backyard weddings. Like, good on you if that's what you want to do. Not for me. Like, for example, where I live right now, it's all dark and cloudy and sad outside, and it has been pouring rain for the last few days, so I guarantee it'll probably be raining here while I'm over in Washington getting married, so I'm glad I did not decide to get married in my backyard. Also, you never know what kind of like noise and whatever is going to be going on in your backyard. Like, there's construction happening on all sides of my yard right now, so I would be going insane if I was having a backyard wedding right now. Absolutely not. I also just can't imagine trying to fit that many people in my house at a time and like trying to feed them all in my backyard. No thank you. Let's move on to tradition. Okay, so a lot of 2026 brides are just saying no to various wedding traditions. For example, a lot of people are opting to have smaller weddings, so smaller bridal parties, smaller guest lists in general, which I 100% agree with. I mean, I don't have that many people I wanted to invite anyway, but yeah, even inviting most of the important people, it's like, we're not having that many people. We have 29 guests total, not including me and Vincent. But yeah, so it's going to be a smaller wedding. I am so happy with that. We have 9 groomsmen and bridesmaids total, 5 bridesmaids and 4 groomsmen. Totally fine with me. I guess a lot of people are doing intimate and private ceremonies, which is interesting. I don't know about private ceremony because that kind of like defeats the purpose of having a wedding party to me, if that makes sense. Like, if you wanted to do it in private, you might as well have gone to the courthouse and then had like a reception party afterwards. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want my family and friends to be there for us, so I want them to be able to like be there in that moment, that's kind of what the wedding is for. So yeah, we're not doing anything in private. We're not doing our vows in private. We're not doing a private cake cutting. Like, no, I mean, it's all gonna be out in the open with all the people we love and care about, which is those 29 people, and a few people who couldn't make it, but not a trend we're doing. A trend we are doing though is the wedding weekend. A lot of people are taking over an entire weekend for their wedding. We're doing this mostly because everyone has to travel. I didn't want to get married in Montana because I couldn't find anywhere that was appealing to me and like in a decent price range. It was like, okay, if you want to pay $20,000 to get married in a barn, which not me, not my aesthetic. So I'm very happy that we're getting married in Washington instead, but none of our friends or family live in Washington. Well, we have 2 friends who live in Washington where we're getting married. Everyone else is coming from Texas, Virginia, Montana, a couple other places. So they're coming from all over the place, East Coast, Chicago, yeah. So everyone has to travel, including us. So it was like, yeah, we're gonna have a weekend out of it. And I decided to get married on a Monday for personal reasons. It's for my mom. My mom always said to me when I was growing up, when I would complain about hating Mondays because I was, a dumb Garfield kid, I don't know. She'd be like, well, Mondays, all the best things in my life happened on a Monday. I got married on a Monday, you were born on a Monday, and your sister was born on a Monday. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go get married on a Monday. I figured, okay, well, everyone, travels on Thursday or Friday. They hang out on Friday. We have a bachelorette party on Saturday. We have Sunday to rest up and like get ready. And then on Monday we get married, and on Tuesday everyone can go home. Yeah, it turned into a wedding weekend. We're doing all sorts of activities with friends and family, but like we hardly ever get to see each other. So I think it's fine that we all do a long weekend. I think everyone can handle it. And then last but not least, let's talk about fashion trends. So one big fashion trend is long veils, which is something I definitely agree with. I am also doing a very long cathedral veil. I'm very excited about it. I had no idea what I wanted to do for a veil, but when I went dress shopping, they put one on me, one of the cathedral veils on me, and I was like, yes, this is it, definitely. I think it's fucking stupid how expensive they are. Like, it's hard to find one for under $2,000 or at least $1,500, but I cheaped out because like it's a piece of tulle fabric, my guy. Like, it cannot cost that much to make, so I got one from like JJ's Bridal, whatever that place, JJ's House, whatever it's called. It's like David's Bridal, one of those cheap big old warehouse type, everything's made in China. I think everything's made in China anyway, but yeah, it was like an $80 veil. I don't care, and it looks great, just so you know. So, but I guess another big trend is Juliet caps, you know, like the Italian goes over your head, very lacy, like very Catholic looking thing. I hadn't heard about that. Not my thing. I think it looks cute, but like I'm already going so like big and glamorous. I don't need one of those. Another thing is like fashionable grooms, which like shouldn't all weddings want a like, do men not want to be fashionable on their wedding day? Like, that's stupid. Like, I knew from the get-go that my husband was going to be a fashionable guy. That's one of the things I really like about him. And we actually, so I originally wanted to do like just pink for the wedding because I love pink, and like maybe incorporate another cute little like pastel color in there. But then I was just thinking about, well, what would look nicest on my fiance? Like, what would he look best in? And I was like, well, he'd look fantastic in red, and red's his favorite color. So I was just like, you know what, pink and red, we're doing pink and red, we're going full romance, like moody romance, let's do it. And so he's got like this red suit jacket that's got like this Baroque pattern on it, like I forget what it's called. It's just like this really pretty pattern on it. And yeah, he's doing like a black shirt underneath black pants and like a red pocket square, stuff like that. And all of his groomsmen are wearing black and red also, and he's gonna look so cool. My dad's got like a black and red tuxedo too. They're all gonna look so good. I'm so excited for them. They're gonna love it. So yeah, I'm just like, who isn't dressing their groom up? Like, why aren't the grooms dressing up? That's dumb. Another big trend has been the colors of green and red. So like olive and fig, or plum or merlot. Like raspberry and matcha was a really big thing. I remember hearing burgundy and chartreuse at the beginning of the year, which at first I was like, okay, I'm doing burgundy. I don't need everyone else to be doing burgundy, but chartreuse, really? Like, that's kind of, I think it gives like almost Christmassy vibes. I just don't like it. I think a lot of people are gonna regret that one in a few years. Not for me. Another big color thing is like the return of silver. I think people were doing gold for a long time, but now everyone's super into silver. Not me, I'm a gold girly. Everything I wear is gold. My ring is rose gold. Yeah, we're sticking with gold. I love gold, so all of my little accessories and stuff are gold. So that's what we're doing. I'm definitely about going big, like maximalist stuff. I'm not about the like subdued look at all. So I'm glad that we're kind of stepping away from, like, I don't like the whole quiet luxury thing. I think the only reason quiet luxury as a trend exists is because everyone's poor right now. And I think that's why a lot of these trends are trending right now, is because everyone is more focused on saving money. Like, I've seen that Gen Z is spending at least $10,000 less than most weddings have been priced at for like the last 10 years. Like, the average wedding in the last 10 years has been like $36,000, and most Gen Z people are keeping it under 20, which we are also doing. It did get more expensive than we thought, but that's mostly been like food and just stuff we didn't really think about, but it's fine. We've got it all paid for. We're all good. We're not going into debt over a wedding because that would be stupid. But yeah, I really do think like the trends, like doing it in your backyard, like thrifting, the quiet luxury thing, smaller guest lists, I think that's all because we're more focused on saving money, because everyone's freaked out about saving money at the moment because we're not paid enough as a whole generation. Like, we don't want to work as much because working fucking sucks. And we also are more practical in the way that we say like, dude, it's one day. Like, yeah, we want to have fun, but we're not going to like harm our future, put ourselves in debt right at the beginning of our marriage just to have a fun party, you know? Which I think is definitely a good thing. I'm glad that that's the direction Gen Z is going in as a whole. I think that's for the best. So yeah, I think I'm going to be really happy with my wedding. I'm trying my best to be excited instead of nervous. It's just like, I feel like there's still more to do. Like, we're getting all of the final payments done. We're just getting all of the plans finally wrapped up and all together. I have to do a couple of like beauty things, you know, like I want to get my nails done. I'm getting my lashes done again today. I still have to practice doing my makeup a little bit. Just, you know, things here and there. We finished paying the photographer yesterday. We have the final head count for everyone who's coming. So I let our venue coordinator know that, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's all finally coming together. I tried on my wedding dress yesterday to make sure, like, it actually fits. I'm a little stressed out about because my boobs just aren't quite big enough, and I never wear strapless, but this is a strapless, and so I'm just kind of like, oh my god, are they gonna fall out? But it's whatever. Yeah, just all sorts of things like that. It's all coming together. It's all gonna be great. I'm excited. I'm just also nervous. I've never gotten married before, guys. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, those are kind of just some of the trends that I discovered when looking into it. Obviously, I'm not doing a lot of them. I'm doing my own thing. I think everyone should do their own thing. Don't just do what's trendy because it's trendy. Do it for you. Do it for your person. Do it for your family. Have a good time. That's what we're gonna be doing, and I'm super excited to like share it at some point. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure that it's going to be busy and crazy for the next 2-3 weeks, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to post, but I'm gonna try my best to keep posting because I'm having a lot of fun making videos all the time. So yeah, that's the plan. That's gonna be it for today. Like I said, I have to go get my eyelashes done in a bit, so I need to go get ready for the day. So that's the plan. Yeah, anyway, thank you for being here. Let me know what some of your favorite wedding trends are, whether it's 2026 or not, anything that you're excited to do in your wedding or that you're still really happy you did in your wedding, and just any general advice for getting married. I would love to hear about it. So anyway, I'm Sienna. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.